the history of jazz obviously is very connected to the development of American popular culture. And jazz has been part of a larger context of the relationship between new technologies and American popular culture as well. So I couldn't help but imagine that if Ellington was sitting in the audience, he would be relating the experience back to, say, giving radio broadcasted performances from the Cotton Club in the 1920s. Telematic performance has been around for quite some time. There's a lot of great stuff in there.
Yes, there is.
So I think we all imagine ourselves as part of a much longer historical discourse. So Virtual Tour 2013 is a 3-day event. On April 5th, the directors of the project, Mark and Michael and the others at UC San Diego, they perform with us here in Amherst. On the second day, they perform with a duo of Matthias Ziegler and Jerry Hemingway, who are in Zurich, Switzerland. And then on the third and final event of the series, they perform with a larger ensemble directed by Sarah Weaver at Stony Brook University in Long Island. So I'd say that one of the primary aims of the project is to develop a process, a platform, and really a precedent for being able to do these kinds of virtual telematic tours, where we're not just doing one-off concerts, but we're actually doing a series of concerts and making this potential become reality. Can we stop? Can you ask them to make sure they can hear me?
Can you hear Jason?
Right now, we're not hearing him through the talkback channel. I think it's bleeding.
Can you hear me now? One of the first things that usually comes up as we start to sort of think about the nature of telematic performance has to do with latency, or the sort of time lag between different locations. And it is an inherent component of the medium itself. So for instance, with a big, massive, Mahler-sized symphony orchestra, the amount of natural acoustic latency from one side of the orchestra to the other side of the orchestra can very well be in the range of the latency that we have across our networked connection. So for me, performing in the telematic medium, and what I'm exploring in the piece that I've written, has to do with the way that we sort of imagine synchronicity. And there's all sorts of really interesting things you could do compositionally to play with the notion of synchronicity and the notion of latency and the perception of those things. And then suddenly having things that sound synchronous become asynchronous right before your eyes and ears all of a sudden. Our technical setup isn't all that different from a traditional co-located performance. What then starts to differ from these normal performances is the networking technology that we're using. The audio is all being routed through one computer. So one computer on this end going to one computer on their end. The video, the 2 video feeds that we're sending, we have 2 cameras on this side, 2 video projectors on our side. Those 2 cameras are connected to 2 separate computers, and those are being sent across the network as well. I think audiences will find it quite striking, the idea that there are people elsewhere performing in real time with full, robust sounds that they'll see on video screens on our stage, except they're not located on our stage. They're located 3,000 miles away.
Cool.
Great, Jason.
Yeah,
cool.
nice piece.
Thank you. Terrific. Sounds great.